You're 10 minutes older than me, aren't you? Time for Mum to have a cup of tea between deliveries.
We went to ice that.
Yeah.
Cup of tea.
I thought all twins kind of say that. It's my twin brother. He's filming. We're filming.
We're filming.
Yeah.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
Look at.
He punched me. He does karate. I always speak to Dan. When you were on your walk, isn't it? Are you walking your dog? So that's Aggie, Dan. Is that Aggie?
It's Peter.
It's not, is it?
Yeah, it's Aggie.
It's Aggie. Aggie. But she's a rescue dog. Aggie's kind of quite traumatised.
Chained up for 2 years. Had puppies, no 2 years.
Yeah.
Probably beaten.
Well, because she recognised my voice because it's similar to your voice, but she's just about let me pat her. Because you've actually got twins yourself. Yes. And they say it misses a generation, but is that true?
Yeah, it does. It's potent. Ruth's grandparents were twins.
Oh.
So it's missed a generation on the female side, I think. And there you go. But because of that, and because of us being twins, we had a chance.
What got you into karate? Because I remember you started and I went in a different way. You did karate at age...
I was a teenager, young teenager.
So that was, I got into magic at the same time you got into karate. You started going to karate and I got into magic.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
So-
you were doing magic, you were doing little shows to us in the evenings or when people came round to the family.
Seriously?
Do you remember that? So a friend was already doing it,
Who was doing it?
Robin Capewell.
Oh yeah.
So he was about mid-grade, sort of our sort of green belt area, not mid-grade, low grade, but you know, been doing it for a year. Robin was saying, "Oh, you should come along." So we did, and it was a 6 or 8 week beginners course.
Yeah.
And we sort of trundled into this room, and I remember people coming out of the room who were in their white geese, sweating. I go, "Wow, this was amazing." I remember sort of these mirrors in front of us. There's a punch bag, but walking into this room, and all of us looking really scared in these mirrors. And I really remember that, like, you know, we didn't be looking around, going, "What are we doing?" And I remember my first instructor, a guy called Paul, and I think went to Scandinavia. And Cockashin's big over there with Cancho, Bernard Cretan. And I just was like, boom! I thought, wow.
Or the power, or the...
Power. And I went, I've got to do this. I said it was a 8 week course. Let's go and practice it. What I was doing. Practice it. Whatever we were doing, practice. I remember going back each week and people were going, I go, what? You've been shown something.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you carry on? And I've been like that. Probably more so now. Learn something, do something, feel something, do it. I just remember after those 8 weeks, like, this is it.
That's an interesting idea of... Because I did that with the guitar. I got obsessed. You got obsessed with it.
Yeah,
so you actually practiced it and went back and I did do the same. And I had a lesson. And I can never understand people having a guitar lesson or whatever kind of lesson, not practicing, going back the next. Yeah.
But most people are like that. Most people are, you know, unless they got a grade and come out their practice. But I was taking that first lesson. I remember running up to do the kind of that first steps, and there was that bathroom there where Nan used to, when she used to come down and choreography.
In our
I
house.
remember there's a big mirror. I just practiced.
Oh really? I didn't know that. Because you were obsessed with it.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, and I still am.
Was he regarded as?
Yeah, he was a good teacher, but I didn't really see him do much. Whereas I'm hands-on all the time. You know, if I'm throwing something, I'm punching someone, etc. I'll be doing all. Well, you were at the lessons today. I'll be doing stuff all the time, doing the press ups, squats.
What he would just sit in and watch you.
Well, he
and
wouldn't
tell
sit.
you.
He'd be standing, you know, hitting with a shin iron, stomping on our legs. That's how it went then. It was good. It was good. But I want to stay active. I want to stay fit and be as unbroken as I can. But yeah, so I'm always active because I want to feel. If I'm hitting something, how does that feel? How can I generate more power? If I want to throw something, how do I lift up and throw? If I'm hitting with my sticks, oh, that then goes into something out. You know, those sort of things. I want to feel it, know it, do it.
But I mean, I remember you exercising also as a kid, growing up. Your knuckles, you started getting those calluses on your
knuckles.
Karate knuckles, is that what they're called?
Yeah. So when I'm at school, because I'm a school teacher as well, and I'm demonstrating or modelling something, there's a couple of things I say to the kids because they're not looking at me; they're looking at either my on and off switch, my mole.
I know, yeah. So I haven't got that as a twin.
I didn't know that I had that when I had hair, obviously.
Oh, okay.
So they look at that, they're going,
Yeah.
Like that. Or because I'm drawing on a thing or whatever. And my knuckles aren't too bad at the moment.
So how do they? I might take a picture of them. That you could, well on the, it's that one, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's a bit.
So they're just calloused from.
They're just calloused and press ups, punching pads. So I say to them, look, this is what we're doing. I do karate, and that's my karate knuckles. This is my on-off button, but also it's got a recorder in there. So if you're behind me putting face or whatever, I can see you. Yeah. But you've already, but they don't know. So you've already seen them mucking around, and you face back and go, right, Jamie, stop mucking around. They go, ah. So tricks of the trade sort of thing. 30 years in teaching, come on.
Yeah, but you always were between me and you, as in who would go on stage. I would have thought people would have thought you would have gone on.
Yeah, I'd love to have been on stage.
But you're gregarious, and less shy than I am. So when we're out with a group of friends, you go a bit berserk and mad. And
but you do, but
I
do. We started both as shy, didn't we? We're both shy.
Yeah.
You
found us. Look.
You less so. Come here. What's this? Sit.
No, I'm still very quiet off stage, but you.
No, I am. Unless I know my people.
Yeah, same.
Then I'm okay. But if in a situation where, come on, let's go. If in a situation where when I don't know people, I'm not socially.
We're both
I'm a little bit socially inept, so you say.
Well, you start. Yeah, okay, we won't go there.
Yeah.
Dry humping. These trees.
Beautiful, isn't it? Joyous, joyous, joyous.
So have you where is she? Aki. Have you broken anything or hurt yourself? What?
Yeah, loads of times. Or been hurt, I should say.
Because it's pretty. Does it go full contact then?
Yeah, we're pretty much full contact to the body, to the legs. Because of trauma to the head, we don't really.
You don't wear pads on the head. I mean, head.
No, we don't. I don't wear gloves on my hands and shin pads and stuff.
Should you?
No.
Oh.
No. People can, and people do. Nothing wrong with that. We don't. So we don't hit to the head like boxers because of the trauma. And just so dangerous.
Because ever since I've known you, which is all my life, 10 minutes.
10 minutes
difference is cup of tea. Yeah, is that I've never known you to get into, because you've been on the doors for 20 years, 18 years. Yeah. You've been injured though. You were saying that you had an eye injury or something.
That wasn't an eye. Yeah, I mean, my instructor. You got to go through these things. He kicked me in the head, and so that split open. I remember we went on our cultural trip to Mallorca. Remember that cultural trip to Mallorca? I remember just before that, my instructor kicked me in the head then as well. And I remember looking back now, I had concussion for the whole 2 weeks.
Oh really?
Plus a hangover. Nice trip.
Plus we got into a car crash on the way to the airport, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
With Bruce Allen's car,
yeah.
we ended up getting chunked into a lamppost.
We did get.
And we ended up on an aeroplane with all bruises,
blood on our faces,
and people thought we were real thugs.
And so they spoke to us, and they spoke like this.
But I remember that. Jeez, he left the car in the lamppost. We had to get the flight.
Yeah. And
you had also been punched in the head by a karate person. And you bust your finger as well, didn't you?
Yeah, bust my finger. I mean, there's a few things busted.
Let's look at your finger. Doesn't look so bad now.
No, it doesn't look too bad. So slightly enlarged here. So at the end of the lesson, one of my black belts, one of my black belts, really lightly, because at the end of that, just boom, 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 boom. I mean, literally, it was like that sort of thing, and somehow he kicked me in the head. Well, he did kick me in the head. I blocked it. His toe got caught here. So when I pulled my finger away, it spun my finger around, so the nail was facing the other way, which means everything was turned around.
So it was just on by the tendons?
Well, probably. But like any good martial artist, I went to the pub afterwards, stuck my finger in some ice water and went home. Had a couple of pints and went home.
And you go to hospital?
Then I said to my wife, I went and said to Ruth, I hurt myself in karate. She was as normal.
She was a nurse. She's a nurse.
She trained as a nurse. Yeah. She went, shut up. You always hurt yourself. And then the next morning, I showed my finger. It was black. She said, you need to go to hospital.
Jeez.
Oh, really? Anyway, they had to put me under and had to break my finger back again.
And or they just twisted it?
You can see, I don't know if you can see that. 2 little white marks. I don't know if you can see that. That's where the pins went. hold it into place.
Oh, you have pins in it?
Yeah, and then it's fine now. It's completely fine now. It doesn't hurt at all. But I remember the plastics said do these exercises every day, every hour, sort of thing. So I did that, and then it got really red and inflamed once I was doing my physio. And Bruce said, "Oh, that's enough. You need to go back." So I went back to hospital, and the doctor said, he looked at my neck and said, "You do martial arts?" I said, "Okay, we say that you do this every hour. We don't expect anyone to do it every hour." So, but I see your martial arts is quite disciplined. I said, "Just do it less." It's quite funny.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you think that martial art has brought you routine and discipline?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, yeah, I think so. And sometimes an urge, or a desire not to give up on things, whatever that is. And then a mindset saying, because when I was doing the stick work and part of the British squad, I was running, and part of the training was to do whatever, 30 fights we had to do and run and stuff when we were training for the British squad. And
so you keep adding things in now. Are you in the British squad for?
It was screamer stick fighting, so I went over to the Philippines to fight. But it was one of those things like, as we were running, so you can't give up, you're in the British squad, can't give up. And I just remember those sort of things. Those sort of things get into my head about you're in charge of association, you'll keep going, that sort of thing.
It's a bit of a darker bit of the woods now, Dan.
It's lovely though, isn't it? Very lovely.
Oh look, what's happened? My hat fell off.
Oh, excuse me.
Did you?
No.
Did
that in school loads.
What's next though? And also what carries you on?
So I don't think there's anything that you say what's next, because it just doesn't stop. So after 40 plus years of teaching, there's something new so I'm always still thinking, how do I hit hard? I'm still interested in the fight. I'm still interested in how do I elbow? How do I hit hard? How do I, all those mechanics. But then they go into sort of, when you get to a certain stage, when you got your sanchin cutter and tensho cutter, how those internal mechanisms work. And you look at that and you suddenly realise that, your throws aren't necessarily boom, hard and strong. They are when you land them on the floor. But they are how do you move generally, how do you pull someone, how do you move something. So all those internal mechanisms work, and all the breathing structures work. You're looking at those sort of things, as in, Tai Chi, but it's all there in Goju. If you search for it and have a great understanding of it. So, but just teaching students, you suddenly, you don't necessarily learn from them. You learn from what I'm teaching, what I teach them, and suddenly go, oh, what if I did it this way? And suddenly go, you were at a session today, and I suddenly went, oh, if I pulled their gi rather than their arms, that gives them a better whiplash. That's going to hurt them more. But it's an easier mechanic for me to do, bang, rather than holding their wrist, which could slip. Whereas you've got holding that gi, that uniform, bang, you can whip them a lot faster, which ultimately hurts them a lot more.
But that's the good thing about all forms of, I suppose, sport or creative endeavours, is that you can't stop, can you?
No.
You've got to carry on learning and evolving.
Yeah.
Otherwise you become tired and
stagnant. Yeah, I was saying to you about...
Was that a poo?
No, it was a wee.
Was it a wee?
Yeah. And also about things have got to keep developing, and you can't sit back, because otherwise your system becomes stagnant. I've seen that so many times where this is the syllabus. Me and Gav got a real sort of holistic syllabus where this is what's set down, but there's so many things on the outside, and that this one strike is not a strike, a block, a pull, a throw, whatever. So you don't want things to become stagnant. You're always searching, looking. Those little small movements will mean something, be it a pull, be it whatever it is. And then you've got the weapons, you've got your grappling, you've got your multiple attacks, you've got joint manipulation. How do I understand about moving someone else without using my internal mechanisms rather than going, how do I move them? All those sort of things. You feel it. And that's the thing, it's about feeling it and saying, I've got that, okay. How does it work in my legs? How do I feel when I lift something? How do I push down to come up? Because the equal opposite reactions holds a lot that you can do. I want to drive forwards and punch, I push back, get that equal opposite reaction to punch someone. If I drop down to lift, equal opposite reaction. If I lift and drop, all works. So many different mechanics.
We're still on the walk, or is it a different walk?
No.
It could be the next day, because look, still, look how green, and it's better weather today. And Dan's in a better mood today.
I do need to say that this is not a fashion statement, it's a dog thing.
Is it though?
Yeah, and a fashion statement.
Yeah, it's quite red and military.
Between the black and the red.
We're talking about, I always ask people about mental health.
Go on then.
Have you had some, you were kind of had a bad time quite a few years ago.
Yeah, I was going to make something up then.
Can't do that on mental health, people will cancel us.
Yeah, I just went through a bad patch about 10 years ago, a really bad patch, but I'm not going to go into it really.
No, you don't have to. But there was a constant, you were saying.
Yeah, but I even stopped, for a while, stopped teaching karate, and Ruth was going.
Did you?
Yeah, like, I've got enough black belts who can take the sessions, so I'm not going to go tonight, I'm not going to go this afternoon or the morning. And after a while, Ruth went, "You're not going to karate?" I said, "No, don't feel like it." My head was really in a strange old place, and then I had to sort of sort myself out. I did see some, people about it, professionals.
Right.
The thing that did actually get me back was I set I think it was over Christmas holidays. I can't remember what it was, but we into the Christmas holidays. And I said, right, for homework, while we're not at karate, you've got to do 200 press-ups a day, or it was 1,000 press-ups during that time, or whatever it was, I can't remember. And the thing is if I set something, I've got to do it myself. I could have carried on going, right, I'll see you next term, the new year. I set it, so I thought, I've got to do this as well. And strangely enough, that's started unwinding that spiral. And I did my press-ups, whatever it was. It was press-ups, burpees, squats, usual sort of body weight exercises. And that sort of slowly got me out of it. And I continued and went back to karate, teaching, and so on. And also, going back to karate, we do a lot of conditioning. So the conditioning is being hit, struck, kicked, hit. And I think that physicality and that, I guess people, when they cut themselves, it's that release. And that was I wouldn't like to say speak for them, but for me, that being hit was like, oh, this is a bit of
feeling alive, maybe.
Feeling alive. Yeah, not like, oh, I need pain. It's like, oh yeah, that's good. Getting back into it, being hit, a minute of being hit, stomach, a minute on one leg, one other leg. When you're striking and bringing those, opening up your pores and opening up that sort of tingling sensations, that same sort of thing about, getting your body going again, being alive. Being alive is good. I like that.
So I went through a mental health big one when Mum was ill. Mum was ill.
Yeah, because you were living at home and I'd gone to Bristol.
Yeah.
Matt was sort of away, and so you were sort of taking the brunt of it, weren't you?
Well, I was kind of visiting Mum every day in the hospital, more or less every day when she was in hospital, and it's kind of guilt and all this stuff. But after she died, I thought that would be a release. But in actual fact, all my problems got worse, as in panic attacks and all this stuff. But I found exercise was one bit. I'd started doing that kitaiso and the kind of bunny hopping around that you always take the mickey out of. But also the Eastern way of like herbs and shiatsu and things like that.
Sticking them.
Everything. Yeah. But that really helped all of it together. But it took a long time to come out. But yeah, I get your point. But you were saying when Mum was ill, you actually the karate and the exercise helped you then.
It did, but do you remember my back went?
It did, didn't it?
And I was taken to hospital and I couldn't move. I was in Sutton High Street. I was working before I went to Bristol to study, and I was.
It seized up, didn't it?
Really seized up, and I couldn't move anything. The whole body seizing, and I was against a lamppost on my lunch break. And I was just standing there going, I can't move. And I remember two guys walking past and went, excuse me, can you carry me? And they basically went, what? Well, they hoisted me up under my arms and took me to where I was working as a car park attendant.
Oh yeah,
it was great. It was a great summer job actually.
Well, you used to find lots of magazines there, didn't you?
And
do you remember that? But was that? Do you think that was just stress related?
I think it was stress related. But remember that summer holiday, I was training 8 hours a day. Right. When you were playing the guitar 8 hours a day.
Oh crikey!
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Was that then?
I certainly was when Mum was ill. that's when I was playing the guitar, and that kind of.
And I think doing those 8 hours a day and stuff was a way of compensating to switch off.
Yeah.
So
like meditations,
and then we'd do 2 hours in the morning, and then we'd have breakfast. We'd do another 2 hours, and etc. And then in the evening I'd go off and train. But yeah, so I think that probably didn't help my back going. And then since then my back's been, the last 30 odd years has been bad. But I think when Mum was I'd already come to Bristol, but I was going back every weekend by bus, sitting on the bus like that. My back was seizing up, and then I'd train and see what I could do.
It was tough, very tough times. Yeah. So, but and you came back and Math were back. But when Mum actually died, that was the only time I wasn't at home. I think that was the guilt with me, was that I think it was in Hull. I was doing this Garfield cats, the cat.
Yeah.
And we were at a children's show, and my mouth was full of ulcers. I couldn't speak. It was so painful. And then as I was about to go on stage, I got a call, I think, from you saying Mum had died. And I literally went on stage.
I've never forgiven you for not being there.
Yeah. That's the thing, is you get this kind of massive guilt for not being there, but you were there, and it was
one time.
And then that's when all my problems started after that as well.
I remember you having those ulcers, pustules in your mouth.
Yeah.
Biscuit. Kiss. Kiss.
If only that works on
your children.
Everybody, can you imagine? In business as well. Biscuit, kiss. So we were just discussing, as I was walking through the woods, about why have we been influenced, as in we've always been fairly fit. I mean, you've been much fitter than me, but
I don't think I have.
Well, you have, but we grew up with table tennis, really, because our dad, same dad, same mum. Dad was always into hockey. I remember going to his hockey club.
Yeah.
And he was always, and he had a slow heartbeat. He's still alive. It hasn't stopped, which is great. 95 he is, 95.
This year.
95 this year, yes. This might not be out before then, so he might be 95 by the time this comes out. But what you were saying, were you influenced by Dad, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's always, like my children, influenced by me, having been physical, active. Dad was always not doing press-ups and self-squats, because he hates all that sort of stuff. But always, as you said,
doing sport.
Doing sport. So it was always, we didn't have a TV until we were 13.
Yeah.
When Grandma died, and we got that little portable TV.
Yeah.
Up until then, we were always making stuff, being creative.
Well, that was because of Mum, because she was an artist.
Yeah. But it meant we weren't sitting down, just glued.
I might put some of Mum's artwork on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to the under 14 Surrey
you were
team.
very good.
Yeah.
Then there's me yet again, limping behind you.
No. Is that one of the reasons you went to? That's an interesting.
Yeah,
take.
it's interesting, isn't it?
But karate was your own thing.
Yeah.
Because I never did that, and you would have been better than me anyway. I mean, you're built that way, I think.
No, I wasn't though, was I? I've only built this way because I then continue with my bodyweight exercises. I love doing my press-ups. I love press-ups, sit-ups, squats. Don't love burpees, but once I've done my burpees.
But I think you've got me back into exercising, because I used to do it a little bit, but then I think you gave me this book about how to. There's a book about exercising without any weights and a bit. So what's your exercise regime now?
It varies. It does vary, because you've got to make sure you're, again, not doing the same thing all the time, otherwise your body gets used to it. So I've been doing 100 press-up, 100 sit-up, 500 press-up, 500 sit-up, 500 squats. 500? 500. But
I do 100 now.
But the press-ups are I go way down, but then it's shortened up. There's a little bit of a cheat, but it's about mindset, really. So I was doing that, and I thought, well, my squats, maybe if I pushed up to 200 squats each time, to make up to 1,000. And I thought that was okay. And then that Tuesday I went, do you know what? I'm going to see what I can do. So eventually, I think it took an hour. I did 5,000 squats.
What are burpees again?
Burpees are
Can't do it. I don't know. I forgot what they
A
are.
bit muddy down here.
Oh, do it slowly. Don't have to.
Down, up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can do
Yeah.
variations.
That's knackering.
Arms out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dog poo. And then 1,000 press ups.
Jeez.
And then some dips and some burpees as well. And then stretch out. And so
Do you stretch before as well?
a little bit of warm up. I stretched and then I stretched afterwards. And I remember someone was saying, what do you do for relaxation? I said, probably exercise. So that night, I thought, let's do it again. I didn't want to do it again after Tuesday, but after Friday, I went, can I do it again? And so I did it again, but this time I wanted to do a little bit more. So I did 5,100 squats and 1,100 press ups, just to say in my head, I can do more if I wanted to. That's the mindset thing, and then stretch out, dips and stuff.
That's great. I love the that could be a tagline, couldn't it? Your best form of relaxation is exercise.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before. That's quite good. It's quite profound, I think.
That's unusual.
Is it? Gonna do a selfie now. Let me do that.
You haven't got your glasses. Remember that one? Got both.
Oh yeah. I'll try and find it. Have you got that still?
Here's my phone.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah, but
Are you?
Yeah.
Walk with you where you go.